Hello everyone, it's Clint and I have a doozy for you today. This is sort of a follow-up to my video that I posted yesterday morning on Warren Ellis and his cancellation. I don't know what to call it. Everybody's calling it a cancellation. I think you're hard-pressed to call it something else, though we're going to see some people that try. So I used Twitter in the most possibly effective way that it can be used, not to have a discussion. That's not the purpose. It is to pose a question as feelers. And if you get answers from people, you can make a video on it. That's it. No more responding back and forth, no arguing. All of that is a complete waste of time. But I can pose a question and in some cases get an answer. And, that makes for video content. That's what this is about. So this is actually a really important question. And that is, what does Warren Ellis have to do in order to have redemption in the eyes of the mob, right? He has been accused of inappropriate conduct at conventions and through his personal email. And, because of this, currently people want him never to work in comics again. This has been proven by several comic book pros, fans, activists coming out very angrily against Image Comics and Ben Templesmith for being willing to work with Warren Ellis over some allegations that, even if they're true, are not illegal and in many of the cases, honestly not ethical. Stupid? Sure, I will go there. Warren Ellis, I think, did some stupid stuff. And this is exactly why it's stupid. So, but is stupid a reason to never work in comics again? I don't know. I don't think that this is a strong enough case, but you let me know if you're watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're here, and check out Downcast 3 Submerged on Indiegogo right now. Look at this. We passed 29,000. The grind is on, but if we hit that 30K, everyone's going to get a foil stamped cover. It's a beautiful edition. Going to be some really nice books that we're doing here. And so, looking forward to getting this book out. We're still currently in the lettering process to editing process, but this should be going to print very soon, and there's no reason why we won't be shipping these books out this summer. So get in while the getting is good. All right, so here's essentially there's the outrage, me asking questions I genuinely want to answer so that we can talk about it here. Okay, so first response, don't contact any of these people, please. It's just not helpful. Is people surprised that Image is continuing the relationship with Warren Ellis? Must have missed that they just put out Brandon Graham's new book a few months ago. They also brought Brian Wood back a few years ago too. As an aside, I didn't know that Brian Wood got canceled. What did Brian Wood do? I had no idea. Or did I forget? I guess that could be possible. So here's my question that I asked in a variety of ways. I said, I'm searching for answers. In your perspective, what should happen with Warren Ellis? Is never working in comics justice? If he gets a job as a sanitation worker, is that okay? Or should he also be fired from there? What would justice look like? No response in this case. Rich Johnson, in response to, I'll go from the first tweet here. Something else I'm curious about. How do other image creators feel about the company publishing Ellis? Will any of them speak out, pull their books in protest? And this is a suggestion for activism and for cancellation. I mean, what else is it? They'll say that's not cancellation, it's accountability. What do you mean accountability? Accountability to whom? And who decides what the accountability is? Like, what crime? There are no rules for any of this, and that's what's so disconcerting. So Rich Johnson responded, I understand there's some very busy Slacks, Discords, and the like right now. That is the Whisper Network in action. That is what he's describing right now. Some very busy Discords. So there will be consequences for Image Comics, apparently. So again, my question to him was, I'm curious to know, how long should Warren Ellis remain away from comics? If he gets a job at a gas station, would the gas station also fire him? Should the gas station also fire him, rather? What would satisfy justice? Again, no response, not even from Rich Johnson. I don't understand it. He must be used to people not answering his questions as the most trusted journalist in something. So here's another one from Comics FX or XF, excuse me. It's upsetting that Image Comics has chosen to continue its relationship with Warren Ellis. A reminder of the many people he used in his position in comic. He used his position in comics to harm from their own voices, and it links out to this website that has been essentially the epicenter of all of the strange public relations actions that have been going on Twitter in the last 24 to 48 hours, all around this website. We will look at it because it actually lays out an answer to my question, but I don't. It's not good enough. You've got to be a little bit more specific. So we'll get into that. So I asked my same question here, essentially the same things. Should McDonald's fire him if he gets a job at McDonald's too? And then Comics FX XF is the first person to respond, by the way, says this is a question that shouldn't go unanswered. Thank you. Finally, we agree. I absolutely need my question answered. Here we go. Luckily, the writers of this piece have weighed in on it and have additionally communicated that none of these actions have taken place. Now, hold on a minute. Hold on. Are they watching everything he's said or done? How is it possible that they know he hasn't taken any actions to check off these arbitrary, check marks? How do they know? And I point out something that is pretty obvious here. I'm going to pull it up here. Actually, there's a few things we want to talk about. I'm going to actually skip to the middle first. So here are the 4 points. This is how you get uncanceled, according to the mob. Okay. So first, acknowledge his actions in their entirety. Now, I was here a year ago, and I remember I think it was roughly that time period that he made an acknowledgement that he did some wrong stuff. Like I said before, I think that Warren Ellis made some stupid decisions. Having said that, he didn't do anything that wasn't illegal or that was illegal. He didn't do anything that would be honestly even considered sexual harassment. Like it was on his own time, on his own dime, like consensual. Like it was improper on both parties. If the transaction was, hey, be close to Warren Ellis and he can make your dreams come true as a comic book creator, it's also not cool. It's also improper to think that you can get ahead in the comic book industry by hooking up with, a potato man, right? That'll get you ahead. It's improper on both parties' parts. So I would sort of expect these things to also apply to the other parties. I mean, it only seems fair. So that's one. So if I think he met this, but if you say the entirety of his actions in their entirety, how can you possibly know what the entirety of his actions are? I don't even remember what I ate today. I couldn't tell you. I couldn't account for everything I've eaten on to Twitter in one day. It just seems like this is a religious experiment, almost like you have to subjugate yourself to a mob and confess your sins to a mob. You realize how crazy that sounds? So number 2, acknowledge his pattern of harmful behavior. Now, number 2 is interesting because I know for a fact that the pattern is used to demonstrate, wrongdoings in a legal sense. So if the goal here is to get him to acknowledge a pattern, what's the difference between a pattern and actions? Well, the difference is the legality of it. I don't think that there's any difference here why this has to be its own point if you're still acknowledging that you've done wrong, which technically he's done. I don't think he should have. It was a bad idea, but he did. So number 3 is acknowledge that he has callously hurt people. Again, 3 could also be all of these could be the same point. He could have hurt somebody's feelings. I've hurt people's feelings before. And I've never been required to do this in order to work. You apologize to people if you should apologize. Like, it's one-on-one, it's up to you. Regardless of that, uh, that's not a good enough reason for him to never work again. It doesn't make, I can't follow you here. So number 4 is, I think, the only other point. This could have been 2 points. It's contribute to transformative work to dismantle the systems which allowed this to go on. So you could take this at face value and say, oh, what they're talking about is going to publishers, going to conventions, setting in policies and procedures. I was talking with a friend and, I realized, publishers could dampen this quite a bit by having their creators sign something, put something into their contract that if you are going to a convention representing a book that you wrote for said publisher, then you're not allowed any hanky panky on the premises or something like that. Even then, the more I think about it, it seems insane, because in every kind of profession, when people go to conferences, there's some people that engage in that kind of stupid stuff. I still think it's stupid, but is it illegal, or is it something that would prohibit you from working in comic books? I think that's a massive stretch. So okay, so that's the generous way of me reading number 4. The truth is, though, that this right here reveals exactly what the reasoning behind this is. This is about activism. It's about looking at the world as a set of systems. It's about overthrowing the status quo. It's about all of those things. And my guess is that this website was put up and a lot of these accusations were put out there because there was a strong hope and a feeling that, hey, if we start mentioning Warren Ellis and how he's made some stupid and maybe weird decisions, there's bound to be someone out there that has a legitimate accusation. The problem is that nobody actually came out. Now, Harvey Weinstein, for example, I'm totally in favor. He did so many blatant things that he could actually be charged. It was, ridiculous, the stuff he did. Nobody's arguing that Harvey Weinstein shouldn't be prosecuted. The problem here is that you're trying to prosecute somebody as though they're Harvey Weinstein when their actions don't even come close. Like, not even scratching the surface. It's not at all the same thing. You can't make them the same thing. All right, so if I go through these, though, this is the worst part. Look right above, and they say let's see. No, hold on. Transformative justice is what they want. Here we go. To be clear, our aim is not to see Warren Ellis punished. We're here to look forward. Period. Then how? This sentence undermines everything else. If you don't want to see him punished, then why do these things exist? Could it be because this isn't really about Warren Ellis? This is about activism. You're using this as an opportunity to provide activism. None of this happened for someone like Eric Esquivel. None of it. Why is that? Because he's not well known enough. Nobody knows who he is. Any book that he's worked on doesn't matter. And he has done far worse things. Like, he's been accused of far worse things, and he's acknowledged that he has done far worse things than Warren Ellis has. But none of this is happening. That's because Eric Esquivel is nobody, and Warren Ellis is a rock star. This isn't about Warren Ellis. This is about using his name to get publicity for your cause. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. Why has this not been done for anyone else? All right, here's a response to my question. They don't want him canceled, but they do want accountability. What does that mean? Just listen to what they say, what they have to say about the whole situation. They don't want accountability. They want a public display. How do you know what Warren Ellis has done in the past year? How have you any clue? We don't know. All we know is what has been posted on this website by, as far as I'm concerned, strangers. I don't know anything on the website. It's just ridiculous. But Warren Ellis has a name. And I did respond here. I've read this a few times now. I just don't see how this could ever be enough to satisfy the offended and all of Twitter. It never will. It will never be enough. I don't know if I'm blocked from all this. I can't see any of their responses. All right, let's see. Next one here. This is Chris Arant. I'm glad he responded. Thank you, Chris, for responding, even though we disagree. I said I would. What would a reckoning look like? Let me go here. Regarding Warren Ellis, this must be remembered and reckoned with. Remembered. How long should it be remembered for? What does a reckoning look like? That's what I asked him. What does a reckoning look like? So the article goes into that, Clint. We just talked about that. We looked at those points. That those points are impossible to live up to. Certainly, you know that, Chris. Has anybody ever met any of those kinds of demands and been forgiven by the mob and allowed to move forward? At some point, somebody in the mob is still going to be unsatisfied. Even if you could get over 50% of the people that were upset with Warren Ellis to stop being upset with Warren Ellis, you're still going to have enough people that are upset with him that there's still noise on Twitter. It'll never be enough. It simply can't be enough. Let's see. I read the article. Okay, pointed out those things. Okay, I said, didn't Ellis do this in his statement last year? If it doesn't satisfy justice, then what does? Chris Arant's statement is, the statement I read didn't really hit on any of these on any level. Wow, I read that terribly. The statement I read didn't hit on any of these on any level. I disagree. I think it did. I think he admitted that he did some wrong. Again, he shouldn't have, but he did. He admitted to some level of he did something wrong, right? If that's not enough, that's the whole first 3 points put together. But it's not going to be enough. He has to be publicly shamed, be contrite enough. Like, how contrite does one have to be before the masses? Yeah, who made you the moral arbiter for Warren Ellis? And then here we go. How about the fact that the collective of his victims feel like he hasn't done enough or addressed it in a meaningful way? They literally said if he made amends, they wouldn't have a problem. He didn't do enough for the people whom he hurt. My question is, for you then, if his crimes were mild enough that he could be forgiven by making amends, then why on earth are they so serious that he can't work, that he's unable to have a job now? You see how there's a disconnect. If it's that serious of a crime, he should be prosecuted. He should have the police knocking at his door. But if he hasn't, if it's something forgivable, then whether he asks for forgiveness or not, everybody can move on. I just read it. The I don't want to call them the victims. The accusers have said that they want to move on. And how you get all of them to speak as a collective, I don't know. That's amazing. Maybe one of his problems was hitting on people that were into collectivism. My goodness. Yeah, so that was my question. Let's see. That's up to them, he says. And they're an organized group of adults. Right now, though, the number seems non-existent. But you would never know, though. If Warren Ellis went and apologized to every woman that he'd ever talked to, every woman that had ever asked for a favor to get into comics, and he agreed on the grounds that they, participate in some hanky-panky, how would you know? How would you know who he's talked to? This is crazy that this is like the public is deciding. And should the public decide? I don't understand. Here we go. Someone that has an opinion that's not collectivist. I think that's something that's going to vary from person to person based on all available evidence. Though Ellis hasn't done anything since his initial statement, but we don't know. Maybe he has. It has to be public or it doesn't count, right? Another question here. Working with Warren Ellis means you just don't give an F about being an incredible human being. Your permanently unserious fanboy slash co-dealer used or who chose comic book fun and money you make from something else over pain caused and crappy behavior. Enjoy making things worse. Wow, that was a lot. I asked him essentially the same question. The same answer is, oh, look, they have a website. This is that website, a statement that essentially lists out, he's mean, he's emotionally rude, he gaslighted people, uh, and and then here are a number of sins. Here are his sins tallied up. Reading these is honestly hilarious. I'm scratching my head. Test the waters and pushes boundaries for receptiveness to sexual advances. Have you ever dated before? Oh gosh. Again, I think he was stupid in the people he chose to make advances toward. I think he was stupid in time and place kind of things. But this is normal. This is normal. That's how people work. You're gonna find out if people are interested. Gosh. Consistently emphasizes discretion. Okay. Yeah, don't tell everybody that they're going to get into the industry just by plain hanky panky. Makes target feel unique with constant compliments, interest, and systematic frequent contact, and other habit forming techniques typical of operant conditioning. Okay. I mean, again, have you ever dated? Have you ever had a crush on somebody? Do you try to make them feel special? My other question is, if he followed through and if somehow was able to hook up all of these people with jobs in comics, if he was capable of doing that somehow, would this exist at all? Because that was the part of the bargain that they were interested in. And then it makes me wonder how many of these people did actually get promoted that way, or they got a job in comics, right? How many people are they not on the list? Should they also go through the public scrutiny? I mean, this list of things is silly, but they try to word things in such a sinister way, but it's actually very mundane. In some cases, engages in hypnotism. The one thing I know about hypnotism is that if you don't want to be hypnotized, you don't be hypnotized. That's strange. He hypnotized them. My goodness. And yeah, this gets into, this is all he has to do. And we want to move on. We don't believe we don't want to punish him. It's not really about Warren Ellis. It's about the bigger question here. So, this is, strange. It's weird on many levels. And I don't know, this is the world we live in now. I suspect that most people don't care, but every time activists get together, what they're able to do is make sympathetic people that work in comics try to do something in order for themselves to look good, or to draw a distinction between the good ones from the bad ones. And so it wouldn't surprise me at all if you have some creators that are getting published through Image say that they're pulling their books because Image is naughty. So now Image is being punished, even though the people here said they didn't want him to be punished. They never once said they don't think he should work in comics. I didn't see that anywhere. I read it several times. They said they wanted this. They wanted him to admit he was wrong and to do transformative work to dismantle this. They wanted him to be an activist, right? None of this is actually work. What you're asking for is hollow language. What you're asking for is a performance. That's what you're asking for. And isn't that kind of what you got, with his original statement? So there's no way this is going to be satisfied. Anyway, thanks for watching the video. I realize that was long, but there's actually a lot of stuff to go over. Don't forget to like, subscribe, check out Downcast 3. It's in the link in the description below, and I will see you in the next video.